gone through all the difficulties attached with it, I will mention also. Experiment. The report on a very interesting experiment. It's not a story. It's a report on a very interesting experiment. Done somewhere in United States, some laboratory. The experiment consisted of looking at how a baby monkey behaves from day one after being born. So they had a hall where the baby monkey was kept, and at the end of the hall there were two statue-like things of a monkey, of the mother monkey. Same size, same kind of situation. And one of them is a real monkey shape with all those fur and all that, artificially made. Looks like a monkey, mother monkey. The other one is just a steel structure. But the mother monkey does not have the breasts to give milk. And the steel structure, they put 2 bottles for milk. And then they left the baby to find out where he will spend more time. Very soon he found out where milk is available. What do you think? He spent more time with the steel structure with the milk or the monkey structure without milk? What do you think? Without milk. So the monkey, though one day old monkey, he learned very nicely. When he is hungry, he will go to the steel structure, drink milk. But the rest of the time he spent with the... Why am I telling this story? That defines the topic. What happens when you learn your attachment to a mother or whatever you see from beginning onwards? It's not artificial food. It's not just food. Okay, that monkey did not have natural food, only artificial milk. But the point is that affection, that feeling of belonging to it, that is more important than food. Even food. More important even than food. Otherwise, you will think that he will pay respect to whoever gives him food. It is the steel structure which gave him food. Both are not living objects. So this dramatically defines our problem here. Okay? So that's where I would like to start. Huh? Effective means the expected impact. Yeah, should be there. Yeah. Efficient? Lifespan. Time. Time is one factor. Yeah. Any other comment? This is the question which may have more than one answer. If I ask you what is Newton's second law, only one answer. But this is a question which has got more than one answer. Any other answer? Effective and efficient. Efficiency is about potential. Effective. I am an effective teacher. I am an efficient teacher. That's what I was saying.
Effective is something that you have inner efficiency, but efficiency is somewhat you can try.
You can try. Okay, you are talking about another aspect of the problem. I was talking about the basic difference. Suppose you did some job efficiently or... Yeah, madam.
Efficiency is when you decide purpose is right.
Actually, the literature does not agree with that, your view. Okay, as I said, there are more than one answer. There is no absolutely correct answer. But if you look into various resources, the answer you find is this. If the purpose is served, it is effective. Cause and effect. It is served. Purpose is served means it is effective. I taught some subject. I read out Newton's first law, second law, third law, gave some examples. Purpose is served. So effective. If my purpose is only to teach that. But efficiency is how much I struggle or travel for. In which elegant way do I do it? What elegant way I do it? I put myself into it, and that is where the difference between one teacher and other teacher. Both teachers cover the portion. But the efficient teacher discovers the portion, not only covers the portion, but in the process also discovers the portion. So the way of doing is what defines efficiency. By the way, this is something which I don't know the answer. I would like you to tell me. Effective, once again I will define. Effective means the purpose is served properly. Then it is effective. If the purpose is not served, it is not effective. Efficient means you did it in a very nice way, elegant way, better way than average anybody else can do. That is efficient. Now, please teach me, I don't know, what are the Tamil words for it? Effective and efficient. Samarthyam is efficiency. That word is used in Malayalam also, I know. Samarthyam I can understand. That word I have not heard. Okay. Any other suggestion? Oh. That you have to judge. I don't know these words. Okay, so we discussed that. The point I am making is the learning process will be effective whether you learn it in English or any language at whatever age. But it will be efficient when you learn in your natural language. That is the point, especially in the initial. Whenever I talk about learning in natural language, I am mainly talking about two aspects. One for the learning, classroom learning itself. I am talking about lower classes, primary schools, and maybe to some extent high school. That's what I am talking about. And when I talk about communicating to the masses, I am talking about the so-called villager. In the sense, I don't have anything against village or town, but the so-called villager means you understand. Somebody who has not had any formal education, but he is interested in the subject. That's all. So, to talk to those people or to convey your science to those people is one task. That is what I am primarily looking at. So, from that point of view, you will be not only effective but also efficient if you teach them like that. That is the first point I want to make. The second point I want to make is that the ability to remember and recall is more when you teach in your or convey in your natural language, in a student's natural language. Recall. What did the poet say? Education is not complete with karka kasadare. What more is required? Virka. That's what. So for that you need recall, you need remember. Whatever you learn, ulvangi, the madam was using maybe you attended the first function. The Vice Chancellor was using a word, ulvangi. That's what I'm talking about. That word was new to me, by the way, but I understood the meaning of it. So, that part of it, the second part of the Karka Kasadare, that is better when you do in your natural language. Again, once more I will repeat, but hereafter, when I say this, I am actually talking about children below 10, 15, that age group, and the common man. These are the groups which I am talking about. I will talk about later about what about the others. The next point I would like to make is enhanced learning, deeper learning. What do you mean by deeper learning? I will tell you with an example. How many of you are non-science students? Only one or two or three. Okay. But anyway, I will tell you an example which you can also understand. Everybody can understand. Science students can definitely understand. Suppose you learn a topic, amplifier circuit in electronics first year BSc. Is there anybody from physics? Have you learned amplifier, the topic amplifier? Okay, please. So I teach, the topic which the teacher is teaching is amplifier circuit. Amplifier. Now after teaching, we want to set a question. Has the student really understood amplifier topic or not? So what is the question you will set? I will start answering, then you can also give your answer. Describe an amplifier. Give applications. 3 applications. Describe the working of an amplifier. Give 3 applications. This is one question which I am suggesting. Any other question can you suggest? How the amplifier is used. Applications. Yeah. Explain the principle of amplifier. Yeah. So we are slowly getting different aspects of the problem. Yeah. The physics people? Where it will be used? One more. You are also a physics student? Any other physics student? You are good in answering the question, not in asking the question, is it? I am asking you to ask a question on amplifier. So, do you agree with me with the following analysis? If I ask, explain what is an amplifier or describe an amplifier, you need not know anything about the amplifier, you can just read it. And like there is a famous joke physics people say, cations and anions are in motion. The student was reading, cations and anions are in motion. What is cation and anion? Physics people can explain. Charged particle, positive charged particle, negative charged particle. This, then he is reading, the boy is reading, cations and anions are in motion. What is he reading actually? It is not motion, it is motion. They are moving, that's all the book said. So you don't understand, you are looking at it and just reading it. Okay, so coming to our specific problem, I can set a question, explain the amplifier, describe the amplifier, which you can by heart and write. Which can by heart from the previous somebody's answer paper, or even you don't have to even see the textbook. But on the other hand, if I say draw a diagram of the amplifier, next level, same question, topic is amplifier. What question you will put to understand the student's ability? So next question is draw an amplifier. Is it better? Is it better? Even then you can draw some people have pictures memory. I look at the diagram and I photograph it in my mind. Okay, now I have given you a clue. What is the next level question? Translate?
In your own language and explain.
That is relevant to this today's topic anyway, to translate that into your own language. Yeah, that is fine. But coming back to the testing the amplifier, testing the knowledge on the amplifier. Any graphical question, like plot the output as a function, something like that. Yeah, that's a very good question. For that, you need to go through that level. You can't just remember and by heart and things like that. Anything else? So I can give a picture of an amplifier, and then I can ask, what if I change that 100k resistor and put the 1000k resistor? What will happen to the output? Can I ask? Okay. Or I can give two diagrams and ask you to compare the performance of this amplifier and that amplifier. Next level. We are going to the next level. And what is the final level? What is the ultimate question you can ask? Build an amplifier. Great. That's right. Or even a written exam point of view, design an amplifier which will give me an amplification of 50. That is one question which you can't read remember only by reading an answer. You need to put yourself into it. That is where the difference between Karka Kasadara and Nirka, that's where it comes. And that understanding is very easy with your natural language. As long as it is another language, let's say English, you will be only cations and anions and motion. But if you want to do that, really apply it, that becomes very easy in a natural language. Who said all this? It's not our dream statement. These are all done, educationists have done research and proved it. Whatever I am quoting here are results from educational research. People have conducted the research and then their conclusion is what I am saying. So it is not just a dream or just a political statement or just an argument or anything like that. Please take it that way. Technically these are called the Bloom's taxonomy levels. The first level is remembering. The second level is understanding. The third level will be, what will be the third level? Applications. And the next level will be analyzing various things. There are different things. And finally designing. Analyzing, critical view, and finally designing. So every topic, this is applicable to most of the topics. Not only amplifier, but most of the topics. Anybody from English literature? Can you give an example from about a story or a poem in English book? The way I am telling about the amplifier. I talked about the amplifier because I have been teaching it and conducting exams. Of course, you have not been teaching and conducting exams. But what comes to your mind? How will you teach effectively and efficiently a poem or a story? I know it is a tough question. You want to help her? Yeah. Analyze the poem. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, this is being done already. If you have seen any NCERT textbook, I don't know, I have not seen Tamil books because I can't read fluently. But NCERT English books I just happened, something was there in some cover, that cover was interesting, so I was reading the cover. That is a very nice poem. And that poem, they presented it like that. Please have a look at some NCERT textbook, English textbook in 11th standard, 12th standard. That is a very good advice even otherwise. Because these are all available free. You don't have to buy it. All the NCERT books are available free. Whichever subject you belong to, physics or chemistry or whatever. If you are in Tamil medium, please have a look at the NCERT book. NCERT is a national syllabus. That will improve your whole comprehension of the whole thing. It will improve you. And there the poems are presented like that. As you said, analyze, and deep analysis. Actually, I was very much impressed. All these levels which I said. What are the levels? Remembering, recalling, then applying it, etc. And finally, at there is one short story there which I read recently. And that story was about somebody going in a train and having some experience. That is the whole thing. You know what could be the final question at the creative design level? Write a similar story. With your experience. That really takes a cake. So that is how you should teach any subject. So my point now is that this kind of deeper levels of understanding is important for all topics, not only for science. It may not be making an amplifier, but equivalent of that in all the subjects. And how is it possible? It is proven that at the early stage of education, if your education is in your natural language, this becomes automatic, this becomes easier. This going deeper and understanding it becomes easier. Otherwise, you will not really understand it. There is another story of a primary school student, 3rd standard or something, and that is in English medium. And the household, they speak English only. They speak English because they wanted the children to know English very well. And the boy went and wrote the exam and came back after 3rd standard. What does your mother do when you write an exam and come back? How did you write? How did the next person write? Will you get the full mark? Who will get the first and all that? That's what you will be worried. So they asked her, hey, how did you write? How is it? Then remember, this is an English medium. They talk in English. And this is an English exam. So the child told, they asked me something which I didn't know. Everything else I wrote. They asked one question. What is the past tense of think? What is the past tense of think? I thought and finally wrote a smart answer. Thunk. I thought, but finally wrote thunk. Because thunk looks well. So what do you understand from this example? It has not really gone into it. I mean, there is a distance between what you learn in school and what you imbibe inside. There is a difference. That has not happened. That synergy has not happened. That's what it means. These are the contexts in which this is important. What is important? Learning in the natural language at the early stage. Another finding, language proficiency. The person who is taught in the natural language in the initial years has better language proficiency of all languages. Because languages are complicated. What language does a 3-year-old or 2-year-old baby know? Only very few words, short vocabulary, right? But in a 10-year-old baby will almost know everything. And by the time you are 15 and all that, you know everything about it. You can communicate with anyone. That's how it develops. So that's a skill. We are not aware of it. You are all expert in talking Tamil. How did you become? You don't know. It automatically became. It happened automatically. So what happened is you were talking in Tamil, so automatically the skills picked up. So there are two aspects. Number one, your fluency depends on the way it is taught in the natural surroundings, natural language. Your mother and father told you that, so you picked it up. Not only that, that improves your language skills. Our brain can be trained. You have seen circus feats, circus. Can you do one of those items like walking on a wire? You cannot do. But human beings can do. How? Which you cannot do. Something which you can't think of. Some people do in the circus. How are they able to do? Training, practice. So by training and practice, this learning Tamil, it has automatically happened in your mind. That practice. This is called transfer of learning. That skill can be transferred when you learn a new language. When you learn a new language, so in other words, if you are expert in Tamil, if you have been taught Tamil in your natural language, and then you will be better in learning English or even Sanskrit or whatever. This is again a result. It's not obvious, but it is a research result. That's the other advantage why you should communicate in our own natural language. One more aspect I would like to mention. If you explain something or if you teach someone in the early years in the mother tongue, natural language, that person's confidence level increases. And personality improves. Social skills become better. How do I understand this? Whatever I said just now. Suppose suppose you go to somewhere only English speaking people are there. You will find it very difficult to talk to them. And you will find that, okay, he speaks English so nicely, I cannot speak. So you will not lose confidence. I am useless, that kind of thing you will get. You will lose your confidence. So that is a danger. This can be avoided by learning initially in your own. After some age, you will be above all that. Doesn't matter. I will tell you how it is. After all, why should you, okay, let us look at it. Somebody speaks English very well. Suppose you cannot speak very well. Should you have any kind of feeling that you are inferior? No. English is not our mother tongue. And I will tell you, English speaking person is not superior to you. Just because he speaks English is not superior to you. How do you understand this? What language does a 3-year-old baby in England speak? English. What does the stupidest idiot in England? There are idiots in England also. What is the stupidest idiot in England speak? What language? Are you not better than the stupidest idiot in England? So, I hope I conveyed my point. English is rather a simple language, easier language than, I don't know much of Tamil, but many Indian languages. English is easier than many Indian languages. Definitely easier than Malayalam to study. So, you don't have to feel bad that you don't know English. You know a more complicated language. Be happy about it. If you feel that, okay, he knows English. Okay, I know another, such a Queen Elizabeth of England. She knows English very good. She doesn't know any other language probably. I don't know, but at least definitely she may not know Tamil or Malayalam and things like that. I can tell you, you can learn English and speak with anybody if you learn English for a few years, right? That you know by now itself. You might have started with Tamil medium, but once you learn English language, you can be confident to talk about anyone. You will understand whatever other people are telling. But do you think can an Englishman ever learn Tamil and speak? Very difficult. Have you seen any Englishman speaking Tamil very fluently? Or Malayalam, or Hindi, or Sanskrit? So, who is superior? Who is superior? I mean, everyone is equal. I am not telling superior or inferior. So, this perspective should be always in your mind. I know we have a problem and sometimes students come and tell me, I can't follow what is going on in the class. But ours is a national institute and it cannot be in the mother tongue. It has to be, because people come from different places. If I start teaching in Tamil, the people from Manipur and Uttar Pradesh, what will they do? So it has to be in English. So we do that, but I tell them how to first overcome this problem, the ego, the confidence problem. You are no way inferior just because you don't know English or you don't know Sanskrit or you don't know any other Hebrew or whatever. Everyone has his own level, his own plus points and minus points. Especially the not knowing language, and that can be. See, I always tell them, I can't say that I do not know French. What all statement I can do? I did not know French till 11 o'clock today. That's all I can say. I can only say I did not know French till 12:30 today. And I can, afternoon 1 hour, I start speaking. I mean, if I take a book and read, or YouTube or whatever, I start speaking in French. So that's the point. And the relevant point here is that social skills, confidence level, all that improves when the child is taught in the initial years in own language, in natural language. Nelson Mandela, you know who is Nelson Mandela? Anybody who doesn't know who is Nelson Mandela? He made a statement. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes into his head. If you take him to his language, if you talk to him in his language, that goes into his heart. I'll read again. If you talk to a man in any language he understands, yes, in English, it goes into his head. But if you talk to him in his mother tongue, natural language, it goes into his heart. This can be correlated with your efficiency and effectiveness. Okay? I hope you can do the exercise and correlate it with that. Why is it that we are so comfortable with our own language rather than English? Somebody said, cat, take the word cat. You write C-A-T. You write C-A-T and read it as cat. And the meaning is Pune. In Tamil, you write Pune, read Pune, and the animal is also Pune. Okay? You got my point. That's a feeling. Of course, that statement is not fully logically correct. But that's the feeling we have. That's how it goes into heart directly. What are the difficulties you face? Suppose you think, of course, your students not all are not teachers, but what are the difficulties you think if the education medium initially is Tamil or any Indian language or natural language? What are the difficulties you face? I told you about the advantages you have. So far I was telling that. What are the difficulties you have? You have to see the proper perspective. Translating. You don't have enough books. You don't have enough books in Tamil. That's what you are saying, right? That's correct. That is one thing. And there may not be expert teachers who can explain in Tamil very nicely. There could be. There may be. These are the type of it. Why? Because teachers are taught, the teacher training probably happens in English and all that. So this is one problem. We don't have, and that is precisely where the science communication efforts. The books, you have seen some books being inaugurated, released today. And the purpose of writing those books was this. That to overcome this issue. And you make available science in your own language. Now going to the another so-called drawback kind of thing, what you feel, is that you may have an issue when you compete with those who are educated in English. Technically, let's say you want to be a doctor, or you want to be some scientist who will send the NASA, in US NASA, you want to send the man to moon and all that. That is your dream. Will it be affected if you learn in your natural language? The answer is actually yes and no. In today's society, as long as you feel this lack of confidence, that issue will be there. But whatever advantage I said earlier, you would have learned all the fundamental principles in your own language very thoroughly. You would have gone to deeper levels of the Bloom's taxonomy. You can recall it, you can use it, you would have become creative, you would have become confident. But that confident word, you have to be careful. In today's society, as when you go out today, you may feel. That's why I am trying to hypnotize you by telling somebody just because he knows English is not better than anybody. It's just a language one can learn. And it so happens that English is easier than many Indian languages. So if I know that I am speaking in English. But I find the Englishman, how many years he study, it will be very difficult for him to speak in Malayalam. That's what I'm saying. So confident, you have to build up. You have to be hypnotized by that when you have such negative thoughts coming to you. Okay, what about the reality? Really, are you at a disadvantage when you go to medical or engineering or something like that? For that, my idea is to have a proper perspective. What is the proper perspective which I have thought about this issue? Because as I told you, up to college I learned in Malayalam only. So, and now I wrote a book in Malayalam and all. So I know the difficulty from both sides. So my remedy for that is, let the initial education up to the age of 10 or 15 be in natural language. Okay? That 10 or 15, that the experts and educational experts can decide which is the most appropriate. So that you get all the, whatever advantage I said so far, you will get all the advantage. But parallelly, teach English also. After all, science is today, science, engineering, medicine, all that is international. And many students go and study abroad. So to avoid that so-called disadvantage which we are talking about, my suggestion is to have initially, let's say 10 years or 15 years, you do all the education in your mother tongue. But parallelly, after 10 to 15, that time, learn English thoroughly, more than what is there in the syllabus today. So that you become expert in English also. Thereafter, you don't have a problem. You are equal to anybody in any aspect. Okay? So if that attitude, you take the attitude, you may think that Tamil is a greater language than English, and you are not such a fan of English, and Englishmen did all those to India. That's all there. But if you want to be a successful engineer at the international level, or a medical person at the international level, don't have a hatred towards English. As of today, the reality is English. So study everything in your mother tongue up to some age, and parallelly, at the correct age, learn English thoroughly, so that when you go to the outside world, you don't have a problem. You are equal to anyone in language insert. In fact, you will be better because you have the advantage which I was talking about. So that's what you have to get into your own idea. I can tell you from my own experience. I told you I am coming from a village area. I have not seen anybody speaking in English or anything like that. Those days TVs were not there, YouTubes were, all those things were not there. When I was 10, 15 year old. So even English newspaper sometimes somewhere used to see. But otherwise it is only Malayalam, everything was in Malayalam. But when I joined the college, they were teaching English. I did find it much difficult. It didn't take much time to adapt to that. Why? Because I had a liking for every subject, including social studies, not only physics, including language, Hindi also I like. So learning a language is taken as a challenge, it's taken as an exercise. Your brain becomes better if you learn any language. If you have the time and effort to learn something like Sanskrit, which is supposed to be very difficult, or Malayalam, this is next difficult according to me. Okay, so the point is that you don't have a hatred towards English. Learn English also so that you are equal to anybody with additional advantages of having learned the initial years in your own language. The new education policy clearly says a flexible and varied curriculum that allows students to learn languages that are relevant to their personal and professional interest. This is what I was just saying. I will repeat, a flexible and varied curriculum that allows the students to learn languages that are relevant to their personal and professional interests. If you want to be a doctor, you have to choose learn English. Previously, maybe about 100 years back, those who wanted to do physics well used to learn German. Those who want to be physicists, international level, they used to learn German. Why, you know? Many of the scientists were from, they wrote articles, they wrote scientific papers in German language. Einstein included. They wrote in German language. So if you want to read the original, you have to learn German. But that situation is no longer there. Now everything is in English only. Otherwise you will have to learn German, and because you don't know whether you will be physicist or chemist or what. So you will have to learn all those languages. No, it's not required. High quality teaching materials and teacher training programs that are tailored to local languages and cultures. That is what the government is doing now. The government has started doing it at central level. In all states it will be there. What are they doing? High quality teaching materials, preparation of high quality teaching materials and teacher training programs. That's what is going on right now, which are tailored to local languages and cultures. Cultural difference is also another aspect. So that is what the new education policy says, and that is what is being implemented. Those who are interested to learn lot of material in your own language and all that, there is something called Vidyanjali portal. You can Vidyanjali, Vidya, Vidyanjali, Njali, Vidyanjali. That's a government portal, just like your Bhasha. What is it called? Bhasha. Okay, whatever it is. Bhasha. Bharatiya Bhasha. Sorry, Bharatiya Bhasha. Similarly, Vidyanjali. Vidyanjali is another government portal. You can Google Vidyanjali, and that will invite volunteers to do this. When I talk about volunteers, I think I must tell you the story. Maybe most of the students may not be aware. Once there was a program of Arvind Gupta. No, Arvind Gupta? Arvind Gupta gave a lecture in IIT, lecture demonstration in IIT. So when that was being done, I wrote to many colleges, professors in many colleges, including your college. Please come and attend it, bring your children and enjoy the program. And not too many people came, and one of them was Uttara Madam. One person who came with the students is Professor Uttara. This was some 20 years back. She came there, and in that, Arvind Gupta made a request. You know what Arvind Gupta is doing? He has so much of material. Just type Arvind Gupta in your Google and you will see, you will be in a wonderland. He has written step-by-step instructions and videos on learning science, not only physics, all branches of science. You know, he was an IITian in IIT. He is a North Indian basically. He was an IIT product of IIT Kanpur. He was drawing an excellent salary. But he gave up all that and he took up this chance, this aspect, to teach people in the village, children in the village, to demonstrate science to them. That's what he is doing now, leaving all that glory. And his website has a lot of interesting books, plus all these demonstration ideas he has given. And then he has videos, basically in English. He has given out all that in English. And he has got it translated in many, many languages. This 20 years back or 25 years back, I don't remember. At that point of time, none of this was available in Tamil. It was only available in Hindi and some other language. So he made a request, because it is a Chennai IIT, he made a request to the audience, please some of you come and translate it. The video is already there. You just have to listen to the English and translate it into. Then the Tamil person can understand the video in Tamil language. Then I talked to Dr. Uttara, why don't you take this up? Why don't you start this? She very enthusiastically agreed for that, and she had a team of students and all of it together. I think now you have almost every video translated in Tamil. More than 200 videos translated in Tamil. By the effort of Professor Uttara and her team. I don't know who else was there in the team, but many students were there, that I am very sure. So they did all this work, and now it is available to anyone knowing Tamil to understand. So that's one aspect of it. So that's a very bright example of communicating science into you. Having said that, let me also say this is voluntary work, and Vidyanjali portal invites voluntary work, people for voluntary work. It gives you resources to do this kind of voluntary work. Now, what are the tasks before you? If you want to be a volunteer, or if you, whatever it is, you want to contribute to this. What the mission of communicating science in mother tongue, in the natural language. What are the steps you have to do? There are several books in all languages. Just like this Arvind Gupta thing, there are several books in English. So one thing, easier thing maybe, to translate some of them. To first identify, with the guidance of some educational expert or subject expert, you identify some very good books which should be read, which should be translated. That's the first step. And secondly, if you can, and of course you have to know English properly, then only you can do that. So that's why I am always telling, at whatever age you can start, you learn English. That will always help you, and that will help you to have equal confidence with anybody else, even if you have learned in Tamil, the rest of it. So that's the second step. Then you translate it, and that's one way of, and publish it as a book. That's one way. You know, nowadays book publishing is very easy. You can publish it in Amazon. I mean, virtual publication. Amazon will publish it, and then they will sell it. If people buy, you will get the money. If nobody buys it, okay, still your book will be there. But Amazon, it will be available in Amazon. Anywhere in the world they can buy your book. That's a modern thing which is coming up. The other thing is not translate. Suppose you somehow don't think it is appropriate for this. For example, some of the chemicals have some funny smell. And English books, if you have learned in English chemistry, they will say some smell, some burgundy smell, something. You don't know what that. So one of my friend's father, what he did? He was teaching. And a student did not understand the one particular smell, some benzene or some toluene or whatever. Some word is used, some burgundy smell, some whatever. He didn't understand. So students were sitting like that. Then he said, he stopped talking in English. He was going in English medium. Onuleda, nama mutapuchi ille, and the smell. Everybody understood what that smell is. So, while translating, may not be exact translation is not what is required. Probably a translation with the idea, that is rewriting it. Of course, you need the permission from the author. So, rewriting it in your own way or summarizing it, adapting it, abridging it. That is another task you can do. One is translating as such. Second is translating in an appropriate manner. Then the create and modify. That many people have given you suggestions and all that. I will tell you some of the challenges which I also faced when I tried to convey and communicate. Rhombus, what is a rhombus? Its sides are equal, its angles are equal, and it has got 4 arms. What is the Tamil word for rhombus? Is there any Tamil word? In Malayalam it is not there. Oh, Sai Chandra. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sai Chandra. Okay. That's a very good translation. But in Malayalam it is not there. There is no word. So they tried to translate. The person who tried to translate it want to do justice to equal distance, equal angle, and not equal angle. That is a square, rhombus, and the diagonals are equal. So these properties he wants. So he said something like a samadura, chaturbhujam. It looked like Vishnu Sahasranam, something like that. But that is not Malayalam. That is Sanskrit. Whatever I just said, chaturbhujam, that is Sanskrit, not even Malayalam. So you are not doing anything. So my suggestion is, if there is a word, use it. Otherwise, use rhombus itself. There are many words like that. The word sari is used in English. It's contributed from India only. Maybe Malayalam or Tamil. I don't know, whichever. So that way, the languages do take words from that. So don't worry so much about rhombus and things like that. Switch. What is the Tamil for switch? Oh, you have a word for that. Good. I think Tamil people have a lot of nice words compared to Malayalam. Malayalam, there is no word for switch.
Button is just button. Button is just button.
Oh, okay. Switch. The switch word did not have any Malayalam word. So, you know what they tried to do? What does switch do? Control electricity. So, somebody suggested Vaidyuta Gamana Agamana Niyantranagari. Vaidyuta is electricity. Gamana is going one way, Agamana is the other way. So, Niyantrana is control. So, the Malayalam word suggested is Vaidyuta Gamana Agamana Niyantranagari. That is stupid to do, that's what I am saying. First of all, it is not Malayalam, it is Sanskrit. Secondly, instead of writing switch, if you write so much, it is really, you are not doing anything for the purpose. You are only creating some confusion. So, my point is, use your intelligence and use your, like other speakers told in the morning, when you translate, when you create new words, use your common sense and always have your purpose in mind. The purpose is not to terrify people around, but to convey to that in an easier way. To summarize, my point is, one more point, the outlook. What is the future outlook? I was always saying initial years, learn in your language and parallelly learn English, and at some appropriate level, you start learning in English. That's what I've been telling so far. But nowadays, technology is contributing so much. And some of the technological developments now, you can translate movies. All of you see movies. There are movies available with the language in Tamil, all those, you can see James Bond talking in nice Tamil in movie. So you can actually understand it properly. So that technology is available. Even in parliament and all that, if somebody speaks in Hindi, the person with Tamil can understand. Somebody speaks in Tamil, the person who knows Hindi can understand. That's all available today. And translator, Google Translator is available. For all that, of course, the human intervention is required for proper perspective. So whatever we say today, that may not be relevant anymore. Maybe within 2-3 years, everything will change and the differences will not be there. You could teach in any language. But as of today's level, I am telling, initially it's in natural language and then in English. Probably English may not be even required in future. But we have not reached that stage now. All these artificial intelligence and all that has to improve to reach that. So the final conclusion that I would like to tell you is this: to have the advantages both, the advantage of learning initially in your own mother tongue, and then being an international level, going at an international level by learning English later, both are required for you. And how finally, whatever happens, what matters is that Ulvangal. Putting it inside, becoming a part of you. Uploading from your laptop to your necktie. Then it becomes your part of you. This is your computer, necktie computer. So you have to upload everything. Just having a laptop, what do? You will read a lot of things, lot of books and all that, download everything and keep. But finally, if you don't upload it into your brain, it is of no use. That's what the point said. If there is any mistake, please pardon me, mother is not my mother tongue. Epporul yar vaikelpilum apporul maiporul kaanpaduthan arivu. And that is most efficiently done if you communicate in the natural language. That's my conclusion. That maiporul, I like the word maiporul because otherwise it is your porul, not my porul. Okay? Otherwise it becomes your porul only. I have to make it my porul, then only I know it. Then only I can go to the level of creativity. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful session. On behalf of this organization, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Professor C.Vijayan from Department of Physics, IIT Madras. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and being with us today. Learning in our mother language gives us confidence. Your thoughts have inspired us, sir. I thank our department for always supporting and guiding us. A wide round of applause to all the participants who made this session a grand success. Valere Nandi, sir. Thank you, one and all.